Welcome everyone to our latest Viking Video Chat. I'm Augustana AD Josh Morton, excited to spend a few minutes with Sydney Capers. You see him there. Sydney's a junior football player. Today, coming to us from Southern California. And Sid, Sioux Falls feels a lot like Southern California today. We can't say that many days, but today it does.
Exactly. The weather, I'd love to be there right now. I'd love to be working out, training with my brothers and stuff. But being home, being around the family has been great for me, and I feel like it's helped me in school.
Yeah, that's great. And so Sydney's a defensive back for us. For A Club members, you see his smiling picture in our membership guide. And so just wanted to have a chance to spend a few minutes. Now, Sydney, you've also been busy because you're working for your uncle while you're in Southern California.
Yeah, exactly. He's an independent contractor. So I've been doing all types of roofing and knocking out window panes, putting up drywall, and I'm actually covered in paint right now. I just got finished painting one of my friend's rooms. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot in these last couple of weeks, but I like to stay busy, so it's been pretty cool.
Yes, you do. I know, based on your major and being a football player and coming to Augustana, I know, and other things. You've really, what I'm impressed about your experience at Augustana is you're really taking advantage of the full experience. So your major is what?
My major is biology.
Major in biology, and so what would you like to do with that?
I want to do pre-med. I actually want to apply to med school in the next 2 years, probably out here in Southern California. Stay close to the family, and it'll be a good experience. And I feel like in this coming summer, I'm gonna go to Alaska. Actually, Alaska, and my uncle actually stays out there, and he's a doctor, so I'm gonna job shadow about 10 other doctors out there in Alaska.
Oh,
so
great.
Hopefully, having that experience, I'll have a lot more to my repertoire.
Yeah, no, that's great. And so, being in the pandemic that we're in too, as someone who wants to be a doctor, what are your thoughts as you think about a future career?
Oh, this pandemic has definitely brought I guess a scare to the country, and I'm really evaluating how I want to operate and what field I want to be in, and I want to actually study infectious diseases now, just because based on my interest of how this pandemic is spread. There's just so many questions that we have about how it's proliferating, how it's going into the body, and how the RNA is actually replicating between each and every person. So I'm just very interested in what's going on, and it's something that we've never seen before. So it definitely impacted me and what my future is exactly for med school and for my medical future.
Yeah, well, I can say that that's reassuring that someone like you now wants to be in infectious disease too, because I think this has changed everything for all of us. What about as a student athlete? Being whether your teammates who may be in Sioux Falls or around the region, you're in California. How has that gone? What has it been like to be so far away?
It's been actually different, but I feel that our team is very self-motivated. So each and every position group has a chat, and we're making sure that everybody's getting their workouts in, everybody's tracking their weights as we're going along. And Coach OJ's been doing a great job of that, helping us all stay connected. And I feel that getting through these next couple of weeks, that when we're able to regroup, we'll be even stronger because of that.
No, that's great. And that's, I know that Coach has been great because it's one thing as our whole department, we said from the start, we want to make sure that we stay connected because that's the one, I think it's the Augie advantage, right? Whether it's your professors or your coaches, you have that relationship, and when distance can sometimes make that hard. But what this is showing us is that there's still ways to do it. You just have to be creative. In fact, we're going to see if we can get Coach Olszewski on, see if he can join us too. And you can tell him you're working. We're doing drywall and not just sitting down, not doing anything there in Southern California. Yeah, there he is.
Oh yeah, I'm working on my arms. My forearms are definitely hurting.
Coach, we were just talking. So he's working for his uncle. He's doing drywall. He's doing roofing. He's general contractor. He's learning a whole new side of life here.
It's all about the life lessons, right, Sid?
Yes, sir.
This is great. And we were just talking about how staying connected has been so important for you. And what's been your philosophy, Coach, as we are in, I don't know, 5 weeks of this as far as keeping your team? It's a big roster, so it's more of a challenge for football.
Yeah, it can be. We tried to put it into compartments a little bit, that we have one team meeting a week so we can all see each other's faces, and we bring up major things that are going on, and some speakers that come on at times, and we have each other speak to each other. We pick out a couple guys from each side of the ball. In fact, Sydney's up next to speak to his team and give some motivation, where they're at in life, how they're doing, how their family's doing, and then how they're keeping motivated with workouts and everything. And he'll kill it. He'll do a great job, just like the other guys have. But we really broke it down to just a couple components. Number one, well-being. Number two, academics, making sure they're accountable there and doing what they can do with their constraints. And three, their workouts, making sure that we're physically getting ready to go so that we can be the best we can be. And lastly, then just servant, be a servant to your family, be a servant to your community any way you can. So, and then the position coaches have an academic meeting every week. And then we have a football meeting every week where we get to do a little bit of X's and O's and keep our brains fresh with what's going on.
Yeah. And so Sid, while he's in California now, went to high school in Orlando.
Yeah.
So how do you get from Orlando to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Coach?
Oh, man. Sydney, it seems like yesterday, doesn't it, buddy? Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about living room with Coach Rozier. Just it feels like yesterday. It was kind of crazy how that happened and how you guys found me in Orlando, Florida, of all places. But definitely, it's definitely a great experience, and I feel like the trip to Sioux Falls was a needed trip. It's something special in Sioux Falls that people really don't see, and it takes you have to kind of step back and realize who you are as a person. I feel like coming to Sioux Falls, it kind of brought a different side of me out. It kind of let me, especially being at Augustana University, it let me kind of forge my own path. And it's been a great experience playing for Coach OJ.
And I'll tell you, the whole recruiting process is great. I had recruited Florida for probably 6 years prior to that, 7 years prior to that, and really based it around Orlando. So I was very familiar with Doc Phillips. Dr. Phillips has a great program, and there's so many great programs there. And if you ask anybody, I'm going to give two scenarios in the recruiting process and watch his face light up. First one was when I went on the school visit in Orlando, the security guard that let me in, and I had a rental car, they're right across from Disney. So parking is a priority, and they only let certain people in there, right, Sid? Joke. So he got me at the gate, and he's like, "No, sorry, there's no room in the lot." And I said, "Well, who are you?" I said, "I'm a football coach. Who are you here to see?" Sydney Capers. "Oh, yeah, we got room. Come on in." So he let me into the lot. I knew I was in a good place then. Every faculty member, coach, and everybody that met me walked me personally. By the time I actually found Sydney, I probably had an entourage of about 5 faculty walk with me before we actually got to him. And then the home visit was fantastic. So Sydney's house in Orlando was fairly close to Disney as well. And I had just had a couple interesting recruiting nights prior to Sydney's where some gunshots and some things were going off and in the neighborhood I was in. So I go see Sydney that night, and I think 8 o'clock or so, we're wrapping up the visit with his mother, and Miss Angie's looking at me, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 and the window starts shaking. And you saw my eyes. It paused me for a second. I'm like, "Man, Sid, do I need to look out for you?" And it's just the fireworks from Disney going off. Like happens every night, Coach.
Every night of Sid's life. Yeah.
Yes, sir. we don't even hear him anymore, really. It's just background noise.
Well, Coach, it's interesting because I asked Sid about how this pandemic has changed as someone who wants to be a doctor, and he said it has. He wants to be infectious disease, and I told him that's for sure. Someone like him wants to go into that kind of a field. But for someone to be a pre-med major and play college football, it's hard, and we've had a lot of them. But you see it in Sid, the dedication that you have to have.
No doubt. And I think it really comes down to what you're talking about is discipline. Discipline in your time, diligent in what you want to do. Sidney said that when he was in high school, that he wanted to go into medicine, and there's a personal reason for that. His mother and going through some cancer scares, and she's been a survivor and an amazing human being. But that's only one of the reasons. He wants to impact lives, and we have a saying in our football program, leaders lead, and you're staring at one of them right there. That kid's a leader, and leaders aren't born, they're made. And he made himself into one, and you're right from that perspective, Josh. if there's someone that's going to find an answer and help people out, I'll put my money on Sidney Capers.
Hey, Sid, so the football side of this, you're far away. Have you found one thing, maybe in a new workout regimen, because you don't have access to the same equipment that you normally would? One thing that you've found that's been a good thing for you?
Yeah. So yeah. So at first it was really hard because I didn't have any workout equipment here in California. So I was running miles, and I was just running and doing push-ups and sit-ups. So eventually I started getting workout material and stuff slowly. So I got a workout bench in the garage now, a weight vest, and you got to really get creative with bands and your footwork every day. You have to, especially at cornerback, you have to make sure your technique is sound. And I feel like a lot of people in this time, in this period, are going to let that slip, and we don't have time for that. We really don't. So we have to really stay on our grind and stay committed to exactly what we're trying to do and produce on the field.
Yeah. No, that's great. And then as a student too, has there been one class that you've been pleasantly surprised that has translated well to online learning?
Government, definitely. That might be the best class I think I've ever done it. I mean, I'm just doing well. Everything is an A. It's just everything is submitted as an A. So I can't complain.
No, that sounds great. I'd take that every time.
That's fair.
All right, hey Sid, great to spend some time with you. I don't want your uncle to get mad at me. You're on a break, and I'm sure he doesn't give you many breaks. So stay healthy out there in California.
Okay, definitely. You guys too.
All right, thanks, Sid.
Miss you, kid. Be great. Be safe. Love you. See you later.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet. Great. Bye now.